Hey everybody, so we're going to go over your reading this week. You've got poetry, that's your suggested activity. Your suggested activity also tells you a way to turn in is to look on Google Class. There will be a slide that you can type in. Okay, there's a couple poems that are linked here that you can read. I'm also going to share some in Benchmark with you that you can read, and I'll give another quick video if you need help finding those as well. Okay, but when I go into Google Class, I'm going to switch my screens real quick. When I go into Google Class, you're going to get a slide that looks like this that you can type on, that you can print out and write on, or you can use a blank paper and write the answers down on too. Okay? So I'm going to be looking for you to tell me the title that you read. So you can use one from the weekly slide or one from Benchmark that I send you. Rhyming words that you find. So remember, rhyming words sound the same at the end of a word, like bat and cat, at. Those at the end of the word makes it a rhyming word. Not all poems have rhyming words. So if it's a poem that does not rhyme, then you're just going to type in no rhyming words. Main idea and central idea. We practiced that last week. We practiced that a lot. Anything I read is going to have a central idea. So any poem that you choose, you should be putting a main idea. Over here, you've got a way to insert an image. Okay, and there's lots of different ways that you can do that to show me what you're picturing in your head. Okay, a lot of the poems will have a picture at the bottom. Think of something else that you pictured in your head when you were reading. And then the last one that I'm going to spend a little bit more extra time on is the extra elements, the extra things that are in the poem that the poet has put in to make it more enjoyable or easier to understand what they want you to understand. There is a link right here that goes to a helpful chart. Okay, so let's go to that helpful chart. So when I click there, it's going to take me to a Elements of Poetry anchor chart. Okay. There's a link up here that Ms. J has given you to, that's added to read it to you as well. Okay, but I'm going to touch on a couple of these using a poem from class that we have done in Benchmark. Okay, the first two are the line break and the stanza. So I'm going to switch over to a poem. Okay, remember, a poet will not go end to end, okay, and use the full line. Sometimes a poet will make lines shorter and have a line break, like she's put, read to me riddles and read to me rhymes. Read to me stories of magical times. Each time she breaks that line, she wants us to read it that way for a reason. She might want us to read it because maybe the rhyming words are at the end. She might want us to read it because there's a certain rhythm that she wants us to read it in. Okay, so again, if I was reading these first lines in a line break, there's a reason why she's done that. Okay, another thing that you might notice in your poems this week are stanzas. So stanzas are a group of lines together. Like this right here is a stanza. This right here is a second stanza, third stanza, and fourth stanza. And again, the poet's doing that to kind of either show and highlight certain things all together, okay, kind of like a paragraph would group something together, or the poet might be doing that to make you read it a certain way in a certain rhythm. Okay, I'm going to go back to our elements poster. There might be a repetition. Okay, so those things that repeat themselves over and over again, not like sight words like the and at and is, those are repeated always, but certain things like in a poem that we've read in class, like the drip, drip, and it tells you some more drip, drip. There's a reason why that poet keeps repeating that, okay, or it might be a full phrase, okay? Imagery might be using some senses, might be using something that you hear, taste, smell, or touch, okay? So if the poet says, the wind was whistling outside, that's making you hear that, okay? And that's a good imagery to put in your extra elements. Alliterations are when the same sound at the beginning. A lot of items that you buy and even places that you go use alliteration, like poets, like Dunkin' Donuts, the D and the D, they want you to remember that part. They want you to kind of hear that extra fun thing, like Kit Kat, okay? The same at the beginning of the sound. Onomatopoeias might be in your poems too, and those are just fun ways that poets use to make their writing come alive too, and it's those sounds like the pow, zap, boom, crash, okay, to make their poetry come a little bit more alive to you. So be on the lookout for any of the extra elements, and so when you are typing, it's telling me to hurry up. When you're typing, you can put in the extra elements. If you can't find any, you can just type, can't find any, okay? So enjoy your poems, and can't wait to see what you find. See ya.